afternoon's Firstpost Spotlight, where we bring you stories that matter to you from all across the world. From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, we shed light on issues that shape our world. I'm Alison Lagrange, live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin with the top headlines. India's Chief of Defence Staff, General Anil Chauhan, warns Pakistan again amid Operation Sindoor, says if Pakistan hits, India will hit back harder. Dutch far-right leader Geert Wilders' PVV party leaves the Netherlands governing coalition, toppling the country's right-wing government and setting the stage for fresh elections. Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni to host French President Emmanuel Macron in Rome as the two European leaders look to patch up uneasy ties ahead of the NATO and G7 summits this month. Trial begins in the case of 3 British nationals accused of smuggling cocaine to Indonesia's Bali Island, with all facing death penalty in a nation with some of the world's toughest narcotics laws. And Meta signs a 20-year agreement to buy nuclear power from Baltimore-based Constellation Energy as the Facebook parent company races to meet the growing power needs of its massive AI data centers. Hello and welcome. We begin with the latest from India. At least 36 people have died in the country's northeast as floods triggered by relentless rains and landslides devastate the region. Hundreds of thousands are directly impacted by this unprecedented crisis, with urgent rescue operations racing against time across multiple states. Assam bears the heaviest brunt, reporting the highest fatalities, with at least 11 confirmed dead there, followed by 10 in Arunachal Pradesh, 5 people in Mizoram, 6 in Meghalaya, and 3 in Sikkim, and 1 in Tripura. Now, earlier this morning, Prime Minister Narendra Modi took charge, speaking directly with leaders of the flood-hit states. He took stock of the crisis and promised full government support to speed up relief efforts. In Assam, 15 rivers are running near or above the danger mark, flooding banks and swallowing rural population centers. More than 500,000 people across 22 districts are grappling with the deluge. Road, rail and ferry services have been hit hard, stranded by ceaseless rains. Assam's Chief Minister has visited the worst-hit areas, vowing to leave no one behind during the ongoing evacuation. In Sikkim, military helicopters have evacuated 34 people, including injured army personnel. Officials report over 1,600 tourists have been rescued so far, but many remain stranded in northern Sikkim. Evacuation operations continue around the clock. Manipur is facing flash floods affecting over 56,000 residents. Rivers have burst their banks, collapsing embankments, and more than 10,000 homes have been damaged, with survivors sheltered in relief camps. Emergency teams are going the extra mile, rescuing the elderly and vulnerable on evacuation boats. The prevailing deluge has affected all walks of life, submerging schools and homes and threatening scores of livestock, the lifeline of the state's rural communities. Mizoram is battling heavy rains that have triggered landslides and rockfalls. Schools in 10 districts have remained closed for 4 days straight. Tripura's flood situation shows signs of relief, with rain finally letting up. Rivers have fallen below danger marks. Dozens of relief camps are open, providing shelter to thousands. In Arunachal Pradesh, the rains and landslides continue to hammer the state. Major rivers and their tributaries are swollen well above the danger levels. Kiran Rijiju, a minister in Prime Minister Modi's cabinet and a native of the state, shared a gripping video of a man narrowly crossing a hanging bridge in a flood-ravaged district. The minister urged everyone to stay alert and safe amid this ongoing disaster. As rivers rage and landslides strike, the fight to save lives and rebuild communities intensifies across the northeast of India. With government and rescue teams pushing together, the road to recovery is long, but the spirit of survival runs deep. We will keep bringing you updates as this story unfolds. Now in Australia, a 42-year-old man of Indian origin is fighting for his life after local police were caught kneeling on his neck during an attempted arrest. These pictures are from a shocking footage that shows Gorav Kundi forced to the ground on a street near Adelaide, while his wife, Amritpal Kaur, loudly protested for his innocence. The man, reportedly a father of two, lost consciousness after being tackled to the ground and a massive blow to the head. The authorities claim that the Indian origin man violently resisted the arrest when the police intervened to mediate an altercation between him and his partner. A commissioner-level inquiry has been launched, with officials expressing deep concern for Kundi's life, given the severe force used. The incident is drawing haunting parallels of the 2020 death of George Floyd in the US, igniting the debate over police brutality and racial bias. In May of 2020, George Floyd, a 46-year-old black man, died after a white officer, Derek Chauvin, pressed his knee into Floyd's neck for over 9 minutes, despite Floyd's pleas saying, "I can't breathe." The incident, captured on video by a bystander, sparked widespread outrage and became a pivotal moment in the global conversation about racial injustice and police brutality. It led to massive protests across the United States and around the world. Last week, the world marked the 5 years of George Floyd's death, with promises of never again to such frequent episodes of police brutality. But just 5 days later, as a person of non-white race, Gorav Kundi risks becoming another name on the long list of victims of police brutality. Police brutality remains a global crisis, intertwined with systemic racism, power and prejudice. Gorav Kundi's case reignites the urgent question: are law enforcement agencies accountable enough when race and force collide? And now let's turn our attention to Pakistan, where a young Pakistani TikTok influencer was brutally murdered for rejecting a man who had repeatedly contacted her online. Sana Yusuf, who has just turned 17 last week, was shot dead inside her home in Islamabad on Monday. Islamabad police have confirmed the arrest of a 22-year-old man in connection with her murder. Authorities state that the suspect has been persistently trying to contact Sana online and had been seen loitering outside her residence for several hours. The police chief has labelled the incident as a gruesome and cold-blooded murder. After being shot twice at point-blank range, Sana Yusuf died on the spot. Following her death, her body has since been transferred to the Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences for a post-mortem examination. Sana Yusuf was a popular TikTok content creator with over 1 million followers across her social media platforms. Sana Yusuf's brutal killing has widespread reactions, with netizens demanding justice for Yusuf. Following her death, Yusuf's final Instagram post has gone viral. In her last Instagram video, the young TikToker is seen celebrating her birthday with friends. The clip opens with her smiling as she cuts her birthday cake. Little did she know that it would be her last shared moment on social media. Sana Yusuf had gained considerable popularity through her engaging TikTok videos and was admired for her content across various platforms. The young influencer was the daughter of a well-known social activist. She used her online presence, particularly TikTok and Instagram, to passionately promote cultural pride, to advocate for women's rights, and to raise awareness about education. This horrific incident shines a spotlight on the pervasive issue of violence against women in Pakistan. According to the country's Human Rights Commission, cases of women being attacked after rejecting marriage proposals or unwanted attention are not uncommon. This incident evokes memories of other deeply disturbing incidents. In 2021, the nation was horrified by the murder of 27-year-old Nur Muqaddam, who was beheaded by her boyfriend after she refused his marriage proposal. And in 2016, Khadija Siddiqui survived a brutal attack after she was stabbed 23 times by a former boyfriend that she had rejected. Sana Yusuf's murder has sent shockwaves across Pakistan. Despite it being the 21st century, women still have to live with a fear that rejecting a man's unwanted advances can cost them their lives. This shocking incident has yet highlighted how unsafe it is for women to exercise their right to say no to a man. And for our last story today, let's turn our attention to two clashing Southeast Asian neighbours, Thailand and Cambodia, amid rising border tensions. The Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet has announced on Monday that the country will file a complaint with the International Court of Justice, the ICJ, over long-standing border disputes with its neighbour. This move comes after a Cambodian soldier was killed in a recent frontier clash last week. The incident occurred in an area known as the Emerald Triangle, which is a joint border area between Cambodia, Thailand and Laos. Cambodia's military had said that they were attacked first in the latest incident, while the Thai side said that their soldiers were responding to gunshots. Speaking to members of parliament and senators, Prime Minister Hun Manet expressed Cambodia's hope that Thailand would jointly refer these border issues to the ICJ. He emphasized that this joint action would be crucial to prevent armed confrontation again over border uncertainty. However, the Cambodian Prime Minister also made it clear that even if Thailand does not agree to this joint submission, Cambodia will proceed with filing the complaint unilaterally. Prime Minister Hun Manet specifically identified the Emerald Triangle as one of the areas that will be included in the ICJ complaint. He also mentioned that Tamon Tom Temple, the site, recently became a point of contention after a social media video featuring a patriotic Khmer song near the site prompted a formal protest from Bangkok. A day after the attack, Cambodia's foreign ministry issued a strong letter to the Thai embassy in Phnom Penh. The ministry demanded an immediate and thorough investigation into what they describe as an unprovoked attack and a violation of Cambodian sovereignty. Phnom Penh also said it remained committed to resolving the issue through peaceful and diplomatic avenues. Following the attack, military representatives from both sides also met and agreed to ease tensions. Thailand has also indicated that a joint boundary committee will convene within the next 2 weeks to address these ongoing issues. Now, the border between the two Southeast Asian nations stretches for over 800 kilometers and has been a source of friction for decades. Military clashes flared significantly in 2008, leading to years of intermittent violence and resulting in at least 28 deaths. Fighting also broke out along the border in 2011. This is not the first time the ICJ has been involved in border disputes between Cambodia and Thailand. The 2008 clashes were triggered by a dispute over land next to the Preah Vihear temple, which the International Court of Justice ultimately ruled belonged to Cambodia. As Cambodia prepares to file its complaint, the international community will be watching closely to see how Thailand responds and whether this move can finally bring a lasting resolution to these long-standing and often volatile border disagreements. And that's all we have on the show for today. We will see you again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.